Now we are discussing that only. There are three memos. One is goods manufactured at other premises. Okay, this is memo one. What happens in the event of a loss, physical loss or damage to the property? Now your plant and machinery is affected, but as per the due diligence clause, you are supposed to maintain the turnover to the extent possible. Now you find there is a manufacturer in the market who is also producing the goods, or you have got sister concern which has got additional capacity, and you get the goods manufactured at any other premises, then you are supposed to do it. So what it says, during the indemnity period, goods shall be manufactured other than the premises for the benefit of the business, either by insured or by others, on behalf of insured. The sales value of goods so manufactured shall be taken into account in arriving at the reduction in turnover during the indemnity period. This is the tariff definition. And always you find the tariff wordings are difficult to understand. They are written in legal form. The sales value of the goods so manufactured, they are not written in simple form. So that means is very important. That means interpretation, simplification of these wordings. What does it say? It simply says actual turnover would be increased by the amount of sales of goods so produced. Means क्या है तुम्हारा actual turnover जो हुआ है during the indemnity period, that will be increased by this turnover which has been produced at any other premises. उसमें जोड़ देंगे. That means what does it imply? It means reduction in turnover would be estimated turnover less increased actual turnover. आपका actual turnover आपका बढ़ जाएगा, it will be increased so that your ultimate loss will be reduced. That means net amount of claim will be reduced. I'll explain how. Because if actual turnover is increased, iska implication we will see in actual loss calculation. How does it work? Okay. If actual turnover is increased, your loss amount will be reduced. But at the same time, whatever additional cost you are incurring in getting the goods manufactured at other premises, that will be paid as increased cost of working. So it is not like that you are incurring additional cost and you are taking less claim. If you are taking less claim, this additional cost which you are incurring shall be payable as increased cost of working. Is that fine? Okay. Now memo 2, it talks about under insurance on increased cost of working. I have already told you. What it says, if all standing charges are not insured under the policy, then net payable amount of increased cost of working shall be reduced proportionately by applying the under insurance factor to be calculated as under. Original definition is very calculated. This is the simplified definition. Okay, original definition which is given in the tariff of this memo 2, that is a bit complicated. So it is simply says it is reduced proportionately by applying the under insurance. Under insurance factor, it says net profit plus insured standing charges divided by net profit plus all standing charges. Means if there is a leftover, it means your numerator will be lower and it will attract under insurance. I will give you one example also. Example. Now they have taken a policy for a sum of rupees 50 crores and breakup was net profit 15 crores, standing charges 35 crores. Okay, so total is 50. This is what the policy is taken. They have insured standing charges to the extent of 35 crores. Now, to maintain reduction in turnover, they incurred an amount of 5 crores. This is the increased cost of working. Okay. Now we will check the adequacy of this application of memo 2 before we pay 5 crores. Later on, it was found that actual standing charges, that means the company's overall standing charges, insurable insured standing charges. One is insurable, another is insured. So actual standing charges were to the extent of 40 and they have insured to the extent of 35. That means under insurance. So how under insurance? 5 crores is your increased cost of working. multiplied by this 50, 15 plus 35, divided by 15 plus 40. That means 50 divided by 55. So it will be reduced to 4.55. Another 45,000 will be 45 lakhs will be reduced. Instead of 5 lakhs, the client will be given 4.55 crores. Any question on this? Quickly.
No.
If specific standing charges are not mentioned in the policy, then
That doesn't matter, na? The surveyor will check na all the standing charges which are there. Even if he has not mentioned, he will find out all standing charges from books of accounts, and sum total is coming to 40 crores. You have insured 35 crores. He will ask for a breakup of 50 crores, na? The breakup जब आप देंगे तो 15 plus 35, so he will find out. Instead of now he will work out the actual gross profit by taking 40 crores as your standing charges. Net profit is 15. So 15 plus 40 is 55. So 50 by 55 is your under insurance factor. You multiply with your actual increased cost of working. 5 multiplied by this factor, it comes to 4.55.
Good.
Okay.
Sir, if he specifically mentions the standing charges on the policy, then this under insurance will not be applicable.
नहीं, फिर भी लगेगा.
फिर भी लगेगा.
फिर भी लगेगा. Because you are hiding, you are selecting, you cannot be choosy. That is why it is always insisted that you go for difference basis to avoid application of under insurance on increased cost of working.
Okay, sir.
if the policy is on difference basis, then this is not
So
applicable.
yes, our question does not arise. Then there is no possibility of leaving any of the standing charges. Huh? Then you are not going on the addition method. You are going on difference method. That means automatically 100% standing charges are automatically covered, because you are reducing your manufacturing expenses from the sales turnover. Turnover minus working expenses is your gross profit. You are calculating by that formula. It means 100% standing charges are being covered. Okay. Now, return of premium clause. This is memo 3. What it says, excess premium is refunded when the actual gross profit is lower than the sum insured declared in the policy. So what it is done, that sum insured will be compared after expiry of the policy period, and then actual gross profit as per books of account is taken into consideration. And here I told you in the beginning of this session, the clients, they apply for refund because there is a provision of refund. If actual gross profit declared by the client is lower than the sum insured which they declared in the policy, there is a possibility of refund. They are eligible for refund, and refund is subject to, this is 3 conditions: that actual GP is declared within 12 months. Another is maximum refund is to the extent of 50%, not more than 50%. Third is, if there is a loss giving rise to a claim, such returns shall be made in respect only of the difference and is not due to such damage. अब देखो ये wording है. This is what is tariff wording, which is again very confusing. इसको simplify किया है. This means if a claim is paid under the policy, it is to be added to the actual GP declared, with the result refund is reduced. तो इसका implication क्या है? ये 2 line का first 2 lines, that means if a claim is paid under the policy, then it is added to the gross profit declared, actual gross profit, उसमें जोड़ देंगे. That means that gap will be reduced, which means the refund is reduced. When the gap is reduced, that means refund is reduced, because you are adding the actual claim to the actual gross profit. Okay, iska
Maybe
example.
just one point. In case of IR policy, the refund is 33% only.
Refund is 33. Yes, you are right. We are talking of FLOP policy. In IR policy, I always declare it as the 33% because the maximum refund is restricted to 33%. Here, normal FLOP policy, it is restricted to 50%.
Correct.
So if IP is more than 12 months, sum insured to be compared with the increased annual gross profit. This is also very important. If it is more than 12 months, तो जो actual GP होगा, उसको आप इंक्रीज करेंगे. You will have to increase proportionately to find out the refund. Okay, then BI sum insured will be compared with increased annual GP. For example, okay, for 18 months IP, 1.5 times of annual GP should be compared with the sum insured. Then the refund to be calculated. You got it? Then the refund will be calculated. But after increasing the annual gross profit, if the indemnity period selected is 18 months, then only the refund will be calculated. Otherwise, you will make a mistake. If indemnity period is 1.5, 18 months, and you don't increase proportionately the annual gross profit submitted by the client, then you will make a mistake and you will end up paying higher refund to the client, which is not correct.